Hello and welcome to HITC Sport. Right, let's take a look at every Champions League season, right from 03-04 to the present day, and pinpoint each campaign's breakout star. The ones that finally announced themselves to European football as the next big thing. Or at least tried to. 03-04 Deco. To be fair, the 03-04 Champions League season was littered with breakout stars. Of course it was. When the likes of FC Porto and Monaco both make the final, this was the season where the likes of Jerome Rothen, Ricardo Carvalho and Paulo Ferreira stuffed themselves in the shop window. Even Didier Drogba, dumped out of the group stage with Marseille, still caught the eye of Jose Mourinho with 5 goals, including a hat-trick against Partizan Belgrade. But no, the real breakout star stepped forward Deco. At the time, this lad was just some Benfica flop, forced to declare for Portugal after being deemed nowhere good enough for his World Cup winning homeland. Yeah, this was the season Deco ran the Porto midfield, assisted 6 goals in the Champions League, scored in the 3-0 win over Monaco in the final. No wonder he was snapped up by Barcelona within about 6 minutes of the full-time whistle. 04-05 Obafemi Martins. Okay, to be fair, the 04-05 season was probably the one where Steven Gerrard announced himself as a world-class player to the watching world, but the man was still over 250 appearances into his Liverpool career. He'd already played a big tournament with England and lifted 3 trophies, so including him as a breakout star would be borderline lunacy. Instead, let's go with Obafemi Martins. The then 20-year-old Inter Milan forward smashed home 5 goals as the Italians reached the Champions League quarter-finals. He'd essentially announced himself as Italian football's next big thing. Within a year, the man was instead tying up a move to replace Alan Shearer as Newcastle's number 9. This was probably the moment Martins' reputation as one of the most lethal up-and-coming strikers in European football died a quick death. 05-06 Juan Román Riquelme. This was the year the world sat up and realised that yes, Juan Román Riquelme was a world-class individual. Until this point, the 27-year-old Argentine midfielder was simply seen as a Barcelona dud, some Nou Camp castaway unable to cut it at an actually important club. And then he steps forward, taking Villarreal from a slim Champions League qualifying round win over Everton to within an inch of the goddamn final. This lad pulled the strings in midfield as Villarreal topped the Champions League group where Man United finished bottom. His penalty squeezed them past Rangers on away goals in the last 16. His free kick assist proved the difference as they moved past Inter Milan in the quarters. It was just sort of cruel that it was his late botched penalty against Arsenal that saw them dumped out in the semi-finals. 06-07 Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, yes, I know Cristiano Ronaldo had been around for a few years by this point, but I don't really think the young Portuguese starlet was being taken seriously by anyone. The lad was simply seen as a posturing one-trick pony with more stepovers than brain cells and who'd helped get a club teammate sent off at a World Cup. But no, the 06-07 Champions League season was the one where he finally burst to life, showing glimpses of what he was about to become. Man United reached the semi-finals, and to be fair, Ronaldo only scored 3 times along the way, but watch his 2-goal display in that 7-1 drubbing of Roma in the quarter-finals. Just watch. That was the first sign that Ronaldo was going to be the best player in the world. 07-08 Lionel Messi. Like Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi had obviously been around for a few years. Christ above, the previous season he battered in a hat-trick against Real Madrid. He'd also recreated Diego Maradona's stunning World Cup goal against Getafe. But it was the 07-08 season where he finally stamped his mark on the Champions League. Whereas in the previous 2 seasons, the teenager had demonstrated his ball control, trickery and dribbling, but he only had 2 goals to show for it. Here he smashed home 6 in 9 games as Barcelona reached within a whisk of the Champions League final. 08-09 Sergio Busquets. Yeah, here we have the 08-09 treble winning season for Barcelona. Not bad for Sergio Busquets' debut season. This was a perfect example of Pep Guardiola putting his trust in youth, promoting the 20-year-old holding midfielder from the Barcelona B team. Immediately, the kid was replacing Deco in the middle of the park and provided the perfect foil for Xavi and Iniesta to run the Manchester United midfield in the victorious Rome final. 09-10 Diego Milito. Let's be honest, Diego Milito was never a world-class footballer, but Jose Mourinho sure made him look like one at Inter Milan. Bringing in a 30-year-old forward from Genoa was a risk, but good lord, not only did he score 30 goals in all competitions that season as Inter won the treble, but he scored 6 in Europe, including 2 in the 2-0 win over Bayern Munich in the final. Breakthrough season for a man who'd amassed just 15 caps for Argentina at that point. 10-11 Gareth Bale. Okay, well, it could go for Manuel Neuer, who had the world talking when he kept goalless Schalke reach the Champions League semi-finals, but no, make no mistake about it, this was Gareth Bale's breakthrough season. As soon as he rifled home a hat-trick at the San Siro, the home of the European champions, in a 4-3 group stage defeat for Spurs, the world took notice. Then, when the 21-year-old almost single-handedly dismantled the Italians in a 3-1 win at White Hart Lane, essentially reducing the great Mykon's career to wet rubble, good lord, no, the Welshman wasn't prolific domestically. He'd only ever scored 5 league goals for Spurs, but this season, tearing European defences to shreds as Harry Redknapp's crew reached the quarter-finals, you're damn right Real Madrid was sitting up and paying attention. 11-12 David Alaba. Yeah, pretty simple here. The 11-12 campaign was David Alaba's breakthrough season at Bayern Munich, having featured just 9 times across 2 seasons. Here he played 47 times as the the makeshift fullback reached the Champions League final at age just 19 years of age. The man played 11 times in Europe, although his suspension did rule him out of the final. 12-13 Robert Lewandowski. With Robert Lewandowski, you can almost pinpoint the moment he shot to superstardom. Before this season, the lad was not being taken seriously on the European stage. He'd only ever scored one goal in Europe in a 3-1 defeat at Olympiacos in October 2011. For Christ's sake, he was only a volcanic ash cloud from being paired up with Big Sam's Blackburn. This was the year he finally put the prospect of signing for relegation-threatened clubs to bed, exploding into life with 10 goals in 13 Champions League games, including 4 in one match against Real Madrid, propelling Dortmund to the Champions League final. Good Christ, 13-14 Diego Costa. Similarly, the 13-14 season was the year Diego Costa finally shot to life. Until then, he'd been viewed as a bang-average journeyman centre forward. He was 25 and he'd already moved clubs 8 times. The lad had begun the season being linked with Liverpool, a club who finished halfway down the league. This is what European clubs thought of the man. That all changed this season though. 8 goals in 9 Champions League games, including a semi-final penalty at Stamford Bridge, which effectively sealed his big money move to England. Oh yeah, and Atletico reached the final as well. Not bad. 14-15 Luiz Adriano. Why is this a breakthrough season for Luiz Adriano or just a flash in the pen? Whatever, I'm putting him in. For God's sake, the man scored 9 goals at the group stage for Shakhtar Donetsk. The club were put out in the round of 16, losing to Bayern Munich by 7 goals, yet he still finished as one of the tournament's top scorers. Good lord, he scored 5 in one match away at Bate Borisov. This alone was enough to seal a summer move to a European giant with 7 European Cups to their name. He didn't turn out to be very good. Oh, by the way, lads, as your annoying mid-season reminder, try and hit 400,000 subscribers as soon as possible. If you want to be part of that journey and be an absolute legend, smash that subscribe button, and yeah, you'd be an absolute hero. Anyway, back into the video. 15-16 Jan Oblak. Following Thibaut Courtois' return to Stamford Bridge, this was Jan Oblak's first season as undisputed #1 Atletico Madrid. He played every minute as Atletico reached the final yet again, only losing on penalties. Oh yeah, and the Slovenian #1 found himself put in the Champions League Team of the Year. Not bad. 16-17 Kylian Mbappe. Undoubtedly, without a shadow of a doubt, the story of the 16-17 season was the rise of Kylian Mbappe. This was a 17-year-old kid who until this season had only ever scored 5 career goals, and then he punts in 6 Champions League goals for Monaco as they reach the semi-finals. Yeah, after no goals in the group stage, the teenager explodes into life in the high-pressure knockout rounds, 2 against Man City, 3 against Borussia Dortmund, and 1 at Juventus. Everything that's happened since has been nothing short of insane. 17-18 Trent Alexander-Arnold. There were a couple I could have chosen here. Alisson deserves a shout after helping Roma to the Champions League semi-finals, but let's not forget he did concede 19 goals across 12 games, including 7 against Liverpool, so maybe not. How about Trent Alexander-Arnold instead? A 19-year-old right back deputising for the injured Nathaniel Klein, playing 12 games, scoring 2 goals as the Reds reached the Champions League final. No, he didn't end with a trophy, but the kid did a good job of marking Cristiano Ronaldo in the final. Considering Cristiano Ronaldo was lifting a Ballon d'Or when Trent was 9 years of age, not bad. This was definitely the season that killed Klein's career. 18-19 Matthijs de Ligt. Without a doubt, the answer is Matthijs de Ligt. Of course it is. The previous year, the lad was a teenage nobody whose European season was over in mid-August. Not only turfed out of the Champions League knockout rounds, but the Europa League one too. It was a special type of failure. And yet here he was leading Ajax within 15 seconds of a Champions League final. Had Lucas Moura not banged in that second half hat-trick, it would have been one of the greatest Champions League runs of all time. Ajax, a team of mid-table misfits and virtual unknowns, knocking out Real Madrid and Juventus along the way. This was the tournament which made de Ligt the most wanted man in Europe. But a special mention also to Dusan Tadic. Can you really call someone a breakout star at 30 years of age? I'm gonna say yes, because until this point Dusan Tadic had no credibility on the European stage, simply viewed as some mid-table deadwood fluff who'd spent his peak at Southampton, and then he ripped this tournament in 2. Not only did he score 6 goals in the competition, he also assisted a joint high 5 goals as Ajax reached the semi-finals, being directly responsible for 11 goals across the competition. Only Lionel Messi was more productive in the Champions League that year. Oh yeah, and the man was pulling out Zidane turns on the goddamn Bernabeu pitch. The disrespect! 19-20 Erling Haaland. I mean, who else am I gonna pick? The rise of Erling Haaland. No player has shot through the gears as quickly since Kylian Mbappe. Before this season, the teenage centre-forward didn't have a Champions League goal to his name. Now he has 10. For Red Bull Salzburg in the group stage, he netted an opening day hat-trick against Genk, then another goal at Anfield, then 3 in 2 games against Napoli, a further strike away to Genk, and now he's just battered in 2 goals for Borussia Dortmund in the round of 16 against PSG. This kid is the next superstar. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Let me know what you think, lads. Were these players the real breakout stars? Were there any I missed? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to go like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I'll talk to you in a while.